Heard every Sunday morning right here on KSRO for over 35 years. Hosted by Allison Norman and Stephanie Norman, local realtors with local real estate experience. The Norman Home Team, a mother-daughter real estate team with Keller Williams Realty Wine Country. And now, here are Allison and Stephanie.
Good morning.
Good morning, good morning.
It's February.
Woohoo, February 1st. Dun, dun, dun. Almost the Super Bowl. And you're listening to the Real Estate Hour, and or hopefully you're listening. Hopefully. This is going out to maybe a whole bunch of people that aren't going to hear it, but our live link on the KSRO website is not working. So if you know somebody that listens to us on that live link, tell them to switch over to good old-fashioned radio. And I was going to check and see. There's also a KSRO app, and maybe, Joe, maybe the app works. I don't know.
I just tried.
Anyway, so hopefully we're hitting half of our audience, because I know I listen on the live version.
Yeah, I do too.
So hopefully we're going out there on the airwaves to people.
And if you're tuning in on the good old radio, thank you so much for tuning in.
Absolutely. And call a friend and say, hey, switch over to the radio, because their link isn't working on KSRO. We've got somebody here working away trying to fix it, and sometimes things just happen. But we do have a guest, and
yeah, we do.
So hopefully, we may have her back a second time, because we're only getting out to half our audience. But Kathlene Carny is going to be calling in at 9:30. She's going to be talking all about reverse mortgage. And really, we're going to dive into busting the myths, because I still have conversations with people all the time about reverse mortgage, and somebody will say something that I'm like, no, that's not the way they work anymore.
Yeah.
The old reverse mortgage, there were a lot of things wrong with it. It's a really good product now. It's a really good tool to use. So Kathlene is a lender with Nexa Mortgage, and she's going to be talking all about that. She specializes. She does other types of financing as well, but she really has a specialty in reverse mortgage. And then there's a reverse for purchase mortgage, which a lot of people don't know about, and I always try and tell people about that too, because that's also for anybody downsizing. If you have a home that's either paid off or has a good chunk of equity and you're over 62, it's a good tool to use to purchase that downsized home with a reverse mortgage. So she's going to tell us all about it, and that'll be at 9:30. But before that, we're going to talk about what's happening in the real estate world, what's happening here in Sonoma County in the market. And the Feds met again. They did not lower the interest rates. There's a lot of and unfortunately, it gets political, and it shouldn't be. And that piece of the government is not supposed to be partisan, and they do what they know is best for the economy. And I think they're doing the right thing by not lowering the interest rates right now. That's my, partially educated on that piece of it opinion. But I know I've heard and read a lot on both sides of the argument to why we should lower. I mean, yes, it's nice to lower the interest rates. It does affect the economy, and it affects the inflation. It affects values. It affects so many different things. So,
well, we saw what happened in 2020 when
they blew it. They made that is what made. I think everyone thought that the market was gonna tank. Everyone thought, oh my gosh, COVID, everything's shutting down. We need to lower the interest rates to get people buying homes, and people were buying homes, and with the interest rates that low, it was just everybody bought. The prices skyrocketed. Home values went up, hundreds of thousands of dollars. And now people won't sell because they're sitting there with under 3% interest rates, and they're all, why would I want to switch to a 6%? You know, so totally. So this is why it has to be done strategically and done right, and not. It was a bad idea what they did, and I think a lot of people and most people agree with that. So anyway, long story short, they did not lower the interest rates. It'll be interesting to see. There's a new Fed chair that they're trying to put in to replace the other guy. But so it's all very interesting. It's
Very
an interesting time we live in right now, and interesting is an understatement. So anyway, that's what I know about that. And we're going to talk a little about, but the good news is in the market, we are starting to see the inventory come back again, and that is normal, that it went pretty low during the holidays, and now it's going back up. And so we'll talk about what's happening in the real estate market. And we have a couple of community information things I wanted to tell you about, and then also some new rules for tenant or for landlords if you own a landlord property. But first, let's talk about our workshops we have coming up.
Oh, yes.
Because I really would like to get some more people signed up. We have this guy, his name's Russell Marsan. He's with IPX 1031 Exchange. And he did a really big little presentation, or not little, big presentation to Redwood Credit Union, to a huge group of realtors, lenders, and people in the industry, commercial and residential. And he goes around and does presentations. So he's a public speaker. He's very good at what he does. He's entertaining. He's very knowledgeable about 1031 exchange, which is that tax-deferred exchange. And it's not just if you're an investor. You can strategically avoid capital gains by doing some simple things, or maybe not so simple things, depends on how you want to go, to get your primary residence into an investment property, or vice versa, or a partial. Maybe you rent out a room. Maybe you have office space that you can call commercial, an investment. And there are ways to strategically, write off, or not write off, but you get that exemption for your, talk to your tax person, but that exemption for capital gains, $250,000 per person filing single, $500,000 for somebody filing joint. A lot of people, including me, I have more equity than that in my home, and I file single, so I only get $250,000. I have more equity than that. So when I sell, I have to pay capital gains on that portion over that $250,000. Again, talk to your tax person, and I'll talk to mine. But
Yes.
But there is a way to get that exemption and do a partial exchange. So he's got some great strategies and ideas. This is a really informative workshop. It's in person, and I think it's time that we get back into person.
Too, yeah.
It's it's going to be a small setting. It's going to be time to ask a lot of questions, one-on-one conversations. That's why we're calling it a workshop. It's February 10th, so coming up next Tuesday, not this coming Tuesday, but the following Tuesday. And it's going to be here in Santa Rosa at our Keller Williams Realty office. And we're just going to be a time to really kind of learn about what 1031 exchange is, if you have capital gains, if you're an investor, all of those things, just kind of to give you, or even if you're none of those things, if you're just curious. And, if there's any realtors that are listening that want to come sit in on it, we're okay with that.
Of course,
This guy, I think the more educated we all are as an industry,
it's really
the better.
important.
So give us a call or text 707-799-3617, or go to our Facebook page, The Real Estate Hour with Allison and Stephanie Norman. You'll find a link for that. And then 2 weeks after that, we're going to have a first-time buyer workshop. And that one also is going to be really good and informative for anybody that's just, even if you're just thinking about it. We talk to a lot of people that say, oh, I'm not ready. That's okay. You don't have to be ready to go to this workshop. You just need to be ready to learn.
Just educated.
So we're really excited. We're going to feed you. We're going to, we're going to have a good time. And it's not going to be just a boring thing where you sit in a room and feel like you're in school.
So we interact with you and feed you, teach you.
So anyway, we hope that we get some more people signed up for those, especially the one coming up soon, because Russell Marchand he's kind of a big deal, and he's come in to do this workshop for
definitely.
us. So I really want to fill the room for him. You don't have to work with him. You don't have to work with us. We just want to offer this, and we want people to participate. So hopefully we'll get some more people signed up. Because it's coming up quick.
It is, yeah.
It's coming up
And
quick.
it's exciting.
It is. I'm really excited about it, and I think it's really good information. And a lot of people don't really even know or understand what a 1031 exchange is. And if you're just selling your investment property, or even taking a big hit on capital gains on your primary residence, you're really kind of cutting yourself short, to the opportunities that you could take advantage of. So,
Definitely, yeah.
So anyway, sign up, 707-799-3617, or go to our Facebook page, The Real Estate Hour with Allison and Stephanie Norman, right?
Yeah.
And then we have, and we're going to, if these two do well, we're going to plan on having other workshops and
Definitely.
other events throughout the year. And hopefully it becomes a thing, because we're excited about it.
We are very excited.
A couple of things we have coming up, a new listing. We have coming up, it'll be hitting the market tomorrow. We just got photos back.
Oh, yes.
On 2003 Humboldt Street, in the heart of the JC neighborhood. Walk to everything. It's like it's so close to everything. It's a 2-bedroom, 1-bath, about a little over 1,100 or a little under 1,200 square feet, I think. However, it has a 1-bedroom studio garage conversion that is a very, very nice bonus. It's all under the same roof. There's a really nice breezeway that goes through. Old, the hardwood floors that you find in those old houses. It's a 1940s something built house.
Yeah, I think so.
We'll be look forward to that coming on the market. It's listed at $735, coming on the market tomorrow. So we're excited about that one. Also, we have a new land listing coming up in San Rafael, and the hills above Lincoln Ave. If you're at all familiar with San Rafael, if you're driving down towards San Francisco, is to the right of the freeway, or west. Up in the hills there, it is just under a 1/4 acre for $100,000. So that's a bank owned through Umpqua, which has now changed their name to Columbia Bank, which is interesting. Anyway, that is a foreclosure piece of land. So look for that. And more information. We'll talk about that more next week. And we had some good news on our Marquest Springs land. We'll talk about that later. Not to jinx anything, but we're gonna take a break, and then we'll be right back. I'm Allison Norman.
I'm Stephanie Norman.
We are the Norman Home Team, and you're listening to the Real Estate Hour. We'll be right back. Good morning.
Good morning. We are back.
We are back. Oh, good morning. Good morning. It's been a fun morning here at the Real Estate Hour, or at KSRO, on the Real Estate Hour on KSRO, because they're having a little bit of issues here in the studio. So we're hoping that we're getting across to everyone, or if you're just finally, I don't know if it's resolved yet or not. The live link isn't working. So.
Oh, man.
Anyway, so and I can't tell people that because they won't hear me.
So if you're listening on the radio, let everyone know.
Call your friends and say, hey, you got to tune in on the good old-fashioned radio.
Yeah.
1350 AM, and then 103.5 FM, and then there's a 96.7, the one.
94.
Is it?
Look at your.
It's not that it's not correct. I don't think that one's correct.
No, it's not.
It's not. Yeah, there's another 90-something. Anyway, I usually just tell people to go to live online. That's how anybody listens anymore. But anyway, so if you call your friends and say, hey, tune in on. And I mean, we have people that listen from out of town too. So
yeah, well,
sorry, folks.
I had a friend say that she got to it through the link I posted on my story on Facebook.
Yeah.
And
96.9.
96.9 is the other one. So call your friends, say hey. But the good news is that we do record the podcast.
Yes.
I mean, we record the show when it's live on the air, and then you can go, and so we'll let people know. Hopefully they can tune in.
And we also have our YouTube, so we will have a YouTube video of it, and we'll have
all
the
podcast,
so we'll still have it available for all y'all to listen to.
All y'all, and hopefully it's coming across the airwaves. But anyway, who knows? So we're just going to talk like you're listening. People are listening. Okay, so enough of that. Let's let's talk about. I had a couple of new, and then we'll hit the numbers. But there was a couple of things I wanted to mention. There were. This is fun, and we'll put this on Facebook. But there's the Fish and Wildlife Commission. It has scholarships available for students.
Oh, wow.
Deadline isn't until April 30th, but they're doing scholarship program awards up to 6 scholarships per year to Sonoma County students at high school, senior, college, and graduate student levels. Eligible students are encouraged to apply. And you can access the application form for additional details. And it's the Fish and Wildlife Commission website. And you can also find this, I think, in County of Sonoma. I'll find the link and send it to you. Or have Joe post it, and we'll post it on Facebook. But residents of Sonoma County, and they have to be enrolled at student level of high school senior, entering college fall 2026 through graduate school or other. But anyway, it sounded kind of cool.
That does sound cool. I like
cool.
that.
You and I are both too old for that. You too, Joe.
Oh, man.
For the students, a scholarship being offered. Another little tidbit, I actually did post this on our, I don't know if I posted on the Real Estate Hour. I posted on ours. We have a Facebook page, a community group called Sonoma County Cares, where we post a lot of information about, things if there's an emergency situation happening, or just information that we think is interesting, and other people can post on it too. Just can't advertise yourself.
Yes. But we don't advertise ourselves.
We don't advertise either, and it has nothing to do with us or the real estate or radio show. It's just a good community information Facebook page or group. But Burbank Housing, which we've talked about a lot, they actually have a project out in Sea Ranch where they have some rehab structures, I think, that they're doing. I don't think they're new build, but they're Burbank Housing Homeownership Department is doing. They have phase 1 of the Sea Ranch community, which consists of 5 vacant homes that will be renovated. Well, there's your answer. Will be renovated and sold to income-eligible first-time buyers. Learn about getting qualified to purchase and down payment assistance. You can go to burbankhousing.org/homeownership. Income. It's just interesting to me that it's at Sea Ranch, and those are mostly vacation. The Burbank Housing has to be owner occupied. So it's an interesting project, and that's happening Thursday, February 5th at 6 p.m. They're going to have a Zoom about that. So go to burbankhousing.org/homeownership. And then real quick, just landlord information, new rules as of January 1st, 2026. We've always required that there be a stove in a rental unit, and rental house, rental unit to be habitable and rentable. It has to have a stove. Well, now the new law is it also has to have a refrigerator, and that's always been they can provide one or they don't have to provide one. Somebody might want to bring their own refrigerator, or they have to. Now it is a law that to be a rental, it has to have a working stove and a working refrigerator. So that's something new. So anybody that's listening that is a landlord, it is now your responsibility to provide a working stove, working refrigerator. So
the landlords.
The landlord, the property owner.
Burbank Housing, if you missed that information, we will have the link posted on the podcast on KSRO, and we'll have it on Facebook as well. The Real Estate Hour with Allison and Stephanie Norman. Perfect.
Okay, now we're gonna get through the market information before we go to a break and go live to our guest. So let's do that. And I tend to talk too long, so we're going to just quickly go through it. Our market information this week, all of Sonoma County, every little nook and cranny. We're going to go through single family all the way down to buildable land. And what's active, you can go out and buy it right now. And what's in escrow, somebody already accepted an offer. It's working through the process. Okay, so we're looking at single family residents, single family homes. There are 496. That number's slowly inching its way up. It was like 800,000 a couple of, back in November. So I mean, 800, not 1,000, 800. So we're down definitely, but that's seasonal and it's cyclical, and that's what it does. It goes down and it comes back up typically. So we're hoping that that's on the right trajectory. The median price of what's currently active on the market, $1,177,000. And then in escrow, there's 198 single family homes in escrow, currently in escrow right now, working through that process. $849,000 is the in escrow median price. Condos, we have 88 active condos. We have 40 in escrow. Mobile homes in a park, we have 70 active, and we have 20 in escrow. Multi-units, we have, which is 2 to 4 units, we have 78 active on the market, 19 in escrow. These numbers are all pretty normal. And then no big changes. Land, buildable, residential, lots and land, we have 256, and that number is down quite a bit because it went up over 300 for the first time in a long time, back down to kind of a little more normal, 256. And then 33 in escrow. It's normal that number is so much smaller than what's available on the market. That's what's happening in real estate right now. Stephanie has a look at what happened this last week.
Yes, from last Sunday to today, February 1st. So Sonoma County, single family residential, we have new listings, 90 with an average median list price of $949,000. Back on market, we have 10, price reduction 43, in escrow 39, pending 45, and closed 48 with an average sold price of $727,000 with an average median days on the market 73 days. Congratulations to all of you who either bought or sold a home, and all of those of you who were involved. You did it. Yay! Woohoo! We need to get a little bell or something.
A little bell. Ding, 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 ding. Yeah, so congrats to everyone. And that was, you did it in January. Yeah, so your goal, if your goal in 2026 was to buy a house, you did it. You did it on month 1. So congratulations and to everybody involved and all, the realtors on both sides, the title reps, the title
everybody,
escrow officers, the transaction coordinators, the underwriter, the processor,
there's so many people involved that you
and you know. The buyer and seller.
Yes.
And sometimes you're buying and selling, and that's a whole other thing,
Yes.
So you're off to new adventures.
And we will have these numbers posted on our Facebook page, The Real Estate Hour with Allison and Stephanie Norman. So if
you didn't have to write those down. Anyway, we're going to take a break for the news, and when we come back, we're going to be talking with Kathlene Carny with Nexa Mortgage, and she's going to dispel some myths that people have about reverse mortgage, and then we're going to talk about reverse for purchase, which is another really cool thing a lot of people don't know about. So stay tuned for that. We'll be right back. I'm Allison Norman.
I'm Stephanie Norman.
And we're the Norman Home Team, and you're listening to The Real Estate Hour. We'll be right back. Good morning. We're back.
Good morning. We are back.
Fun in the studio today. We've got people working on things. The power went out for a second before we came on. That was got our hearts going. Woke us up real quick. We're all
definitely.
Anyway, so thanks to whoever's out there working on the system, trying to get us all back. Thanks, Nick, for getting us all back up and running. Stephanie has a quick little overview of who we're about to talk to.
So we have Kathlene Carny on the phone. She is a reverse mortgage specialist with Nexa Mortgage, the largest broker in the country. She offers new reverse mortgage options from Mutual of Omaha, Finance of America, Longbridge, and others. She's based here in Sonoma County and helps people over age 62 integrate their home equity into their overall retirement plans. She focuses on education and dispels myths so clients feel informed, supported, and confident in their decisions.
Awesome. So, yes, we like the myth busting. Anyway, welcome, Kathlene. Thanks for calling in. Are you there?
Yeah.
Good morning to both of you. Thanks for having me.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, good morning. Thank you.
I always like having a good conversation about reverse mortgage because I do think there's a lot of myths out there and there have been a lot of changes over the years. So I guess it stands to reason that there would be a lot of misunderstanding kind of about what exactly reverse mortgage is today in 2026 versus what it used to be. So I'm glad you were available to call in and kind of help us go through all of that. So welcome. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Absolutely. So we kind of want to just dive in with, let's just start with what is a reverse mortgage for those people that don't know. And we'll kind of roll from there.
Yeah. So a reverse is a home loan that is for people who are 82 and older. And it allows them to utilize their home equity as part of retirement income and have no mortgage payments. They still have to make their pay their taxes and their insurance just like they would with any mortgage, but it frees having a monthly mortgage, so they have that additional income to live on in addition to any proceeds they might want to be pulling from their equity.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's such a good, it's a really good tool for a lot of people. I know there's some cases, and we'll talk about later, where maybe it's not the right thing, and you can help them figure that out. But I think, just to at least explore it, it's a really good idea to look at, what this can do for you if you're at the age where you can do a reverse mortgage. Why don't you, maybe we can talk about that real quick, the age, kind of eligibility, who is eligible for a reverse mortgage?
Excuse me. So for the main one is the FHA insured HECM, which is the main type of reverse mortgage. It stands for home equity conversion mortgage. And for that one, people need to be age 62 or older, and they have to have enough equity in their home to be able to qualify. There are also other what we call proprietary reverse mortgages. They're not the FHA products, but they are people 55 plus can be eligible for those in certain circumstances that might make more sense for them.
Oh, okay. I didn't realize that. I thought it was all just the FHA product. So there's some other options as well.
That's interesting.
Yeah. We have, not everybody qualifies for a HECM, and other times people, especially here in Sonoma County, their homes are worth more than the FHA limit, which this year is $1,249,000. I don't mean that's the amount they can pull out.
Right.
That's the limit of the home value that they will use when they determine how much equity you can get.
Okay, what was that? I'm sorry. Can you say that number again? Because you cut it. I don't know if it was my headphones or something else. But
sorry.
What? No, it's not. So 1,200,000 something. Is that what you said?
Yeah, 1,249,125.
Okay, so that's the home value. But you'll get into the thick of what that is.
Yeah, that's the FHA limit,
right?
And it changes every year, just like loan limits. And so some people who have, I'm actually talking to somebody right now in Mill Valley who has a $3 million home, and she wants to stay in age in place, and she wants to access her equity to help pay for her in-home care. And so by just accessing funds that are based on that FHA limit, she's not going to be able to pull as much as she wants, and all that other equity is going to sit there unused. So she's going for a proprietary product instead, and that will allow her to access much, much more of what she has available to help her.
Yeah, that's great. And I think you touched on a really important point, and reason why a reverse mortgage makes sense is for that aging in place. If somebody wants to stay, they've got the opportunity to stay at home, age in place, but they don't have the funds, although they're sitting on a pile of equity, so
exactly.
Yeah.
And so it's not only about pulling the equity just to pay for the aging in place, which really gives a lot of people sticker shock. We call it the hidden cost of aging, is the health care. But they're also using it to balance out their other retirement income. So if you want to age in place and you have a retirement fund, sometimes people will say, well, I'll just spend all of my retirement income first, and I'll save the home equity as a last resort. But now more savvy financial planners are looking at that home equity at the beginning, and they're combining it with the other retirement income, which we call like legacy wealth, the whole big pot that you would be living off of and or leaving to your heirs. And they're showing that sometimes by pulling the equity as you need it, like maybe in a down market when you don't necessarily want to be selling any of the investments in your retirement income, overall, in the end, you're going to have more money to spend on your health care and other expenses that you're going to have as you age in place through your retirement.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
No, it does. And I think it's another good reason to sit down and talk with someone like you who can really look at the full picture of what somebody's situation is and what makes sense, and talk to somebody that really understands reverse mortgage. And
I think that's the most important part, is talking to somebody who understands all the options and everything.
Because
really
we can tell people, hey, you should consider a reverse mortgage, but then we say, here's who you should talk to, because they're going to explain it 100 times, 1,000 times better than we could explain it. So we appreciate you for that.
Thank you.
And
it is definitely different than a regular mortgage, and so it is good to find anyone who specializes in them.
Yeah. So, which you are one, and we'll give all of Kathlene's information out. We promise we'll do that, but I don't want to lose any of the time that we have for this other information. The big thing I wanted to do today is we hear a lot, and just recently somebody said to me about how somebody they know has a reverse mortgage, and I don't know if I can't even remember what exactly it was, but it's like they need money, they can't afford to to pay their bills, but they've got this I don't even know, it didn't make sense what she said, but she said, but the bank owns her house, so she can't do anything. And I'm like, no, the bank does not own your house when you have a reverse mortgage. So I wanted to talk, that's just one thing I hear over the years, but I know you spend a lot of time kind of dispelling some of the top myths that people hear. So let's talk about that. What do you hear from people that just isn't accurate having to do with reverse mortgage?
Absolutely. You're absolutely right. There are still a lot of them, and the bank owning your house is at the top of the list. We don't even know where that came from, because as far as I know, it was never one of the rules of a reverse mortgage, but it certainly isn't now. And there have been enormous changes in the last decade. The reverse mortgage is a loan just like any other home loan. When you have a regular, what we call a forward mortgage, which most people have when they buy their houses, the bank doesn't own that house. It's just a lien, and you make mortgage payments, right? Mm-hmm. And it's the same thing with a reverse mortgage. The bank doesn't own your house. They just give you a loan, and in this case, you don't have to make the mortgage payments. They're optional. You can if you want, but you don't have to, and the bank isn't owning your house. Yeah. Now, you do have to continue making your property tax and insurance payments. Mm-hmm. And one of the things that used to happen in the past, a long time ago, was that the program did not qualify people to make sure that they could afford to do that. And so when they would end up not making their property tax or insurance payments, then yes, they would possibly face foreclosure, but that happens right now with forward loans as well. You mm-hmm. have to make your property tax and insurance payments, or you get in trouble with the lender.
Right.
So that might be where there was the confusion. Another myth is that people think that the heirs are going to be responsible for the debt, and that is not true. The FHA loan is a non-recourse loan, and you pay FHA insurance for the protections. And what that means is if, let's say you have your reverse mortgage for a long, long, long time, or we have a market dip, but whatever, when the homeowner passes away, their reverse mortgage balance is higher than the value of the home, if that ever happens, which in this market it rarely does.
Yeah.
The heirs are not responsible for that balance. It is paid for by the FHA insurance. And in another way also, if somebody decides that they just want to sell, if they want to sell the home, they can just give the keys to the bank and say, look, let's say the house is worth $500,000 and the loan balance has gone up to $600,000. The heirs just say, okay, you can have the house, and we do not have to pay that additional $100,000 for the balance of the $600,000 loan. That's covered by the FHA insurance. Now, supposing that the heirs decide, you know what, we do want to buy mom's house. After all, we want to keep this in the family. They can buy the house for 95% of the appraised value. That's another option. So they will let you buy mom's house, and they'll even give you a 5% discount on it.
Wow.
And FHA insurance covers the shortfall.
Okay, and so I want to just also, you were talking about like if the house gets to where it's worth less than what the mortgage is. You know, we saw that happen a little bit in, back, and I think it was before a lot of this changed, the changes came about, but back in the market when we did lose 60% of home values in back in 2010, around there, where everything collapsed, and we did see some, but now, home values are we're not seeing them go down. And isn't there like a buffer is there like some kind of buffer that they put in there so that you don't get to that? Like somebody can't pull out 100% of their equity, can they? Or is that really based on their age?
No, you're right. The way that it's determined is there's a formula that HUD has set up, and it is based on the age of the youngest borrower, the current interest rate, and the purchase price of the home, or the appraised value of the home. Mm-hmm. And the younger you are, the less equity they're going to loan you because, those actuary tales, you're going to live for a long time.
Right.
And you're not going to be making mortgage payments. So they want to hold behind enough of your equity to be able to cover the loan balance, which is going to slowly grow each month. Let's see, sorry, I lost my train of thought there. So that's how they decide how much you can get. And right now I'd say the average is that they will loan you approximately 40% of your home value. And people are like, what? I want to borrow 100%. What are you talking about? Well, if you're a lot older, like I'm doing one right now, I'm talking to a woman who's 82 years old. She's getting more than 40% because they know that she doesn't have that much lifetime left, and so she gets to borrow more of her equity, a higher percentage. But it's all the formula is complicated, but there are reverse mortgage calculators easily available online that you can run and see how much FHA and HUD would loan you. And I have one also on my website. But basically, it is determined on, you have to put the age of the youngest borrower. You can't. And then what people used to do is they would kind of fudge and they'd say, well, I'm 10 years older than my wife. I'll just take out the loan in my name and not put my wife on it. Well, what happened then when the older borrower passed away, like maybe when he's, 90 and now she's 80, all of a sudden, because the loan was in his name, the loan became due and payable. Mm-hmm. And she was going to have to either be able to qualify for a loan on her own, which usually they cannot because now they've lost the husband's income, or she was going to have to move, and it was disastrous. Mm-hmm. And that's how it used to work. But now there are new protections, and there are laws in place to prevent that from ever happening again. One of them is that if you're married, you have to both be on the loan. There's no such thing as being a non-borrowing spouse when you're married, right? Mm-hmm. But let's say that the younger person doesn't qualify to be on the loan, or, she's too young, right? Let's say we're getting the one where you have to be 62 and his wife is only 60, so she doesn't qualify to be on the loan. Or let's say he meets someone and falls in love when he's 75 years old, so there's no way she could be on the loan. They now have non-borrowing spouse protections so that she cannot be kicked out of that home. And that is one of the things that was really tragic that used to happen, and it's one of the many new consumer protections that are in there. She gets to stay in that home for the rest of her life. She does not have to make any of the mortgage payments. The only difference is that if he had a line of credit, she can't pull from that. But
Yeah.
That is the way it is.
It's good.
Can I mention the different ways that people can pull the money?
Yeah, we need to take a quick break, though, and I also, before you do, and we'll do that as soon as we come back, let's make a mental note that we're going to talk about that when we come back. But I want to make sure I want to get your information if somebody wants to reach out to you. Do you want to give that out now, and then we'll do it again at the end?
Oh, yeah, sure. My phone number, I'm in Cotati, but I have a Marin phone number because I grew up down there. It's 415-465-3443.
Okay, 415-465-3443. And what's your website? Is it Nexa? Oh no, it's KathleneCarny.com, and Kathleen spelled different than traditional. It's KathleneCarney .com. Okay, yeah, Kathleen, my autocorrect always wants to spell it EEN, and I have to change it to ENE.
No, I'm sorry about that.
No. Anyway, we're going to take a quick break. We come back. Let's talk about the different ways people can access their equity through reverse mortgage, and I want to make sure we leave time to talk about the reverse for purchase, which is a whole different thing that a lot of people don't know about. So we're talking with Kathlene Carny, Nexa Mortgage, all about reverse mortgage. We're going to take a quick break. I'm Allison Norman.
I'm Stephanie Norman.
We are the Norman Home Team, and you're listening to the Real Estate Hour. We'll be right back with Kathlene Carny. Stay tuned. Good morning, Barney. We're back.
Good morning. We're back here with Kathlene Carny with Nexa Mortgage.
Alrighty, so since we're going to run short on time, let's talk real quick. What are the different ways people can pull money out? Which I cut you off when we had to go take a quick break.
Oh yeah, no problem. They can get a lump sum, or they can get monthly payments for as long as they live in the house, or they can get a line of credit that is different than a regular home equity line of credit, because this one grows if you don't use it. It grows at the same interest rate, at the same rate as what you're paying on your interest. And a lot of people don't realize that one, and that is a part of what the financial planners are using now. But I'll tell you how you can. I just did one, for instance, for a woman up in Santa Rosa. She had a lot of credit card debt. So we used all three of these methods. First, she took a lump sum to pay off that credit card debt. Then she wanted to supplement her monthly income because Social Security just wasn't cutting it for her anymore.
Yeah.
She couldn't make ends meet. So she started pulling an additional $1,000 a month that she's going to have for life as long as she lives in that house. And the third one was the line of credit. So the balance of her available equity that was there, that is going to be like a safety net that she's going to have. She's not going to touch it. It's going to grow, so it's going to allow her access to more equity than what she gets at the very beginning. And she'll use it in the future for repairs, in-home care, other expenses that she doesn't have right now.
Yeah,
those are the three ways.
And I mean, gosh, that's great that you were able to utilize all three of them in one thing. I mean, why not? You're sitting on a chunk of equity, and I know a lot of people say, "Oh, I want to pass it on to my kids," and that's a great and noble thing. But if you need it now, enjoy it now or use it now, and why struggle if you're sitting on that equity. But I want to make time to one quick question on this, and then let's try and fit in the reverse for purchase. But the who isn't this a good product for? It is
not good for short term, because there is that FHA insurance premium that you pay up front, which could make it a very expensive loan if it's short term. But if it's amortized over many years, it's not as expensive. So in those cases, I discourage people. Like, people say, well, I think I'm probably going to want to move into assisted living or move to be closer to my family, in like 3 to 5 years. And I'd say a reverse is not for you. And then it's also not good, as I mentioned, for the people. Some people don't even qualify for it. And others, if they have a very high value home and they want to be able to access a lot more of their equity, then they would not want the HECM. They would want to look at the more proprietary products.
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense. And that's why they should talk to you and and say, does this make sense for me right now? Mm-hmm. And you can talk them through all of it and help them understand. But I want to, in the last few minutes here, I don't know, Joe, how many minutes we have, but what is a reverse for purchase? And it may be that you can explain it. And then if somebody wants more information, they can give you a call. But what is that? Because I think it's a cool product.
It is a great tool, and it allows seniors over 62, again, to buy a home and not have to pay all cash for it. They can hold back some of their cash to protect their liquidity, and they just make a down payment, and the rest is on a reverse mortgage that they do not have to make mortgage payments on. And so it allows them either to, like I say, put some money in the bank, or you can buy up. I just helped a woman buy in Oakmont. She sold a condo in Santa Rosa and cleared a certain amount of money, and the other place she wanted to buy in Oakmont was more. And so she put the additional balance on a reverse mortgage. So she was able to buy up and have no mortgage payments.
Wow.
Nice. Yeah. So somebody moving, so say like you're in a condo or you're in a Joe's playing music over there. So you're in a 2-story with lots of stairs, and you want to age in place, but you want to age in place in the right property. So we call it right sizing a lot of times, right? Exactly. So this sounds like a great tool for that. That's right, and that's what she did. As a matter of fact, she had a 2-story. I said condo, but it was actually a townhome. Sorry, and, and her knees were getting to her because she was getting older, and she wanted to downsize into a 1-story in that beautiful Oakmont community. Yeah, and so that's the way we handled it. Yeah, it's great, and so many people don't even think about it because they don't know about it, or they don't consider it because for whatever reasons and misconceptions about reverse mortgage. I really encourage anybody to have a conversation with Kathlene or if you know another reverse mortgage person, but make sure it's somebody who is knowledgeable and really understands, and Kathlene is a great person to chat with. So why don't you give out your information one more time, and if anybody wants to reach out to you, they can do that.
Thank you so much. My phone number is 415-465-3443. And I wanted to add that I have a free digital booklet on reverse mortgages. Anybody can call or text me and request it.
Perfect.
Or you can request it on my website, which is KathleneCarny.com. Kathlene spelled KathleneCarney. And my email, if you want to email me, is kcarney@nexamortgage.com. It's NEXA mortgage.com.
Perfect. Okay. Thank you. We got it all in.
Yay!
And there's so much more, and it could be such a longer conversation. So if your head is spinning after all of that information and you still don't understand what a reverse mortgage is, reach out to Kathlene. And if you, for some reason, didn't get all that information down, it'll be on our on the podcast. It'll be on our Facebook page, Real Estate Hour with Allison and Stephanie Norman. It'll be on YouTube once we get that up. We'll be everywhere. So please, I really encourage you to find out more about reverse mortgage. It's a great tool.
Yes, definitely.
Thank you, Kathlene.
Thank you, Kathlene.
I'm Allison Norman.
I'm Stephanie Norman.
We are the Norman Home Team. You've been listening to the Real Estate Hour. Have a great day.
You've been listening to the Real Estate Hour with Allison and Stephanie Norman.